replay. Watch the rear of the car. Right there, see the real, quite a violent bump and rebound cycle over the bump, and then it's the rear of the car. There's been signs of this from a few people, so it's big push understeer. He's not responding to the front and has just bruised that wall hard. This car, but they've now got it going on both sides. So here's the other angle. That's very heavy contact. That's going to get into cross members and uprights and you name it.
Especially this one now.
And now this one here.
Yeah. Bang! That's hit hard.
Yeah, so that's both sides of the front and the left rear. So we pick up Mark Winterbottom. We've got big trouble for Wincup in the wall. Car number 1 has hit the wall of turn 8.
Gone. He actually lost the rear of the car, unlike any of the others there. Now, have a look how sideways this car is. Sideways, sideways. Misses the turn-in point, gets the grey, which is the outside slippery surface.
I presume that was at turn 8, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked like there might have been a little bump with Simona. There's a little bit of contact there, I think. We'll try to get some other angles for you. Nasty. Now, I don't know whether he was cut.
Get on with it's pretty important for him. So we're seeing a clear demonstration of the pace that Van Gisbergen's got, but look at the nonsense back here. And round goes Cam Waters at turn 9.
Now, who got him at the end? Because he's...
But here we go. There's a little bit more to unfold here. So that's what happened to Coulthard. So he climbed over Richie Stanaway. That's the reason for the damage. That bunched the pack up. So once they ended up unnaturally bunched together at turn 5,
and it was Golding and Stanaway and Hazelwood, all 3 rookies.
There's a rookie together, and they were just all locked together, and Stanaway ricochet.
There's Garth with Simona, with Todd, and just a little lazy bump. It wasn't actually very much contact, but wheel-to-wheel contact like that, and straight off goes Tander. See how slippery it is. Lowndes did a good job to all of a sudden Tander off the road. Oh, he's in the fence. So that's damage, I think you'll find now. That'll be damage from the pre-slaps remaining. Here's the slide.
Looking
that's Tander. Look, that's what I said.
He's almost gone into the
garage. He's almost gone into the garage. He's locked the wheels at 10th. So here we go. This is Garth Tander down the inside. Bang! Oh, sorry, James Golding. So that was James Golding. Sorry. And he battles to stop, turn in, bang. Now, I don't know whether there was a little bit of contact from Blanchard with that actually helped.
Unnecessary on all parts.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that Chaz actually held him up, but then he was not very happy about it, so he moved it over, and he moved it over again, and then Chaz goes whack there. So, anyway, I love that sort of stuff. That's what the game...
They were back on top of each other, and here's the understanding of what went on between Rick Kelly and Cam Waters. So, Rick clobbers that inside curb. He might actually end up getting a little whack for that one.
I can't see a wheel now.
No, it actually wasn't. The wall was the next part of it. It actually came unglued before he got to the turn.
Be happy. Here we go. This is James Golding. Turns it in. He was up a fair way. Takes 2 to tango with those ones. So we'll see what the powers to be determine.
Some of those early race battles.
Yeah, we've been struggling with our car all weekend, and to be honest, really have all year. But you know, overnight, I think we may have found something which should help us from here on. But yeah, started out, got a pretty good start, and then tried to pit for
forward. Tim Slade, the first of the Holdens.
Frank, a 10-second time penalty for car 99, a false start.
False start for Anton De Pasquale. Meantime, Courtney's been rotated.
How sideways was Nick Percat around the outside there? Nice job. Then there was some contact down here. So that was Richie Stanaway into the back of Scott Pye. That was Fabian disappearing off the edge of the road on the left. Now I think we're going to be on board here with Fabs. No, we're on board with Scott. So Scott got through that.
Rick did a nice job to manage that. Now it's James Golding up the inside of Lee Holdsworth and Simona in behind Lee. Unfortunately for Lee, who tomorrow has his foot. Now let's understand more about what happened here at turn 4. So someone has helped Richie Stanaway.
I reckon it was Dave. It looked like it was Dave, wasn't it? I think the car on the inside, LeBrock, has definitely made contact with Stanaway. The rejoin is just about to take place where both the cars throttle hard. You watch how sideways this gets at the end. Then he gets those Bellunga curbs, and then he hits the tyre here hard.
and the camera
cameras.
and everything related to it. So that's the mirror cover, the mirror back that's come off as well. I don't think it's been a while since I've spotted
cars all year up to our current race 14. And then, oh, big spin there for Macca and backs it in. Bad timing.
That's creased the roof.
And that's Golding, who gets into Cam Waters, who gets into Frosty. So Golding has made the initial contact there with Cam Waters, who then ran into his teammate. And
so there's
Anton.
Coulthard, followed by Anton De Pasquale on the inside. Then Tim Blanchard also in here as well. And she's ended up with a hip and shoulder wide here. And then I've mentioned several times through the weekend, there's no space on the outside of turn 10, and she's ended up in the tyre wall down there. Team Harvey Norman, Nissan Altima. Now Lowndes is going quickly out there at the moment on those fresh tyres. That looks like, you know what, I'm going to have a stab here. That's the wall at turn 10.
Is it the wall at turn 10? Yeah.
Okay, I reckon I just stabbed wrong. It's actually anything but funny, unfortunately, for Jack LeBrock. So that's serious damage for him.
That's right out sideways. If he makes the grass the left-hand side, that's a big crash. That is a big crash for Michael Caruso.
So what has happened here? Oh dear. So we've got contact nose to tail between De Pasquale and big contact with Caruso making it into the Dunlop tyre barrier down there. So that was an awkward moment. And I think they'll have to clear the car from where it is. That's heavy contact down there. His eyes. Now this is what happened to Will Davison. James Golding and Will got together. Remember, Will was in the wars in the back end of this race. That 10-1 fastest lap, Fabian Coulthard. And this is all the crazy.
So that's what he's talking about. That was Scott getting into James, and then James ended up running into Mark Winterbottom. So that, listen for the bang. Yep.
Big one.
That's the bang. It was a big one. Well, broke the shock absorber. Or here we go. That's Scott Pye down the inside, and he's pushed. So almost understeered straight on, didn't he?
I was kind of looking on the outside of that frame, not the inside. Win Cup. Meantime, here's an explanation as to what happened with Caruso. Oh, that was close to actually rolling there on the run out of 6. Was that with De Pasquale?
I think so, yeah. That is wild. I've never seen a car on the right-hand side of you.
No,
over there.
Not in that spot, and it actually ended up in the...
There's the wing coming off Hazelwood. Now, when he turns in, have a look at that for a moment. 270 kilometres an hour. Check this out. And he is spinning off the end of the main straight with no rear downforce. Remember, that car's probably got a broth.
Is what I was talking about before. No, in fact, this is the explanation of what was going on here with Slade and Waters. So Cam's nailed the back of it. You got it exactly right. That the two.
Have a look. Great shots there from our...
Has been drafted back into duty for the Pertec Enduro Cup, and a wild moment for one of the Shell V-Power racing cars, and that was Scott McLaughlin.
Also, he dipped the clutch. That's an exit for Mark Winterbottom. Little rotation. That's down on the little section out.
And it gets away from him in the rear badly. That's means that it'll be an aborted lap, and in fact it's a spin. When was the last time that you saw Win Cups in the lane? It looked even worse after this.
Well, that's the first bit. That's the first bit. And bang. Twice.
And none of them have worked, so that'll be really frustrating, and they'll go through that in great detail as we have a look at the Jack LeBrock and Tim Blanchard moment down at turn 1. That was awkward, and it's margins that we typically see. So replay of some of that early action off the start. This might explain what happened to Kostecki. It does. So it's just an awkward trip over. It's just interlocked wheels somewhere. Can't even work out who's done what to who here. So it's Stanaway, one of the GRM cars. Benin Pertec Enduro Cup champion. Actually, that's a fairly significant whack. They're going to have to spend a bit of time doing some surgery on that car, and it's got the livery on it reflecting Steve Ellery and Luke Youlden from the Super Cheap colours back in 2004.
It's gone for a long time.
It was. Yeah, plenty of time to think about it.
Moffat.
Then Perkins, then Brown, then Youlden.
Oh, the fence
big
for Bright.
contact for Bright, and that is going to put that car well and truly out. What's happened here?
This is Luff. Be in a bit of trouble for that one.
And that's...
Gisbergen's 19th. Off the road and in the fence. Off the road and in the fence for James Courtney. This will bring the safety car out.
Claims another victim.
Oh, so it was Lowndes that was closest, but it didn't look like it was contact, did it?
I don't think so.
Enough back in the braking area to pick up on what had happened, but how's the force to be able to pull that front wheel right off?
On the head with the 99 car, which is coming down the inside now, I think on a pass, side by side through turn one. I'll go back to you guys for now.
Yeah, so
that's great.
Yeah, well handled.
He could have stayed that there.
So this tells us more of the story. So looking at the orange and yellow cars mid-pack, somebody else was into the back of Dale Wood as well. I think it was Dean Fiore in
Alan James Moffat, Ash Walsh, Alex Davison, Dale Wood, and James Courtney has got to 10th. Now that's not really, hang on, that's Fiore off the road, and a lot of damage on the right-hand front. In fact, it's, don't know whether it made contact with the fence.
Is not likely to be a major problem for the team to resolve. So replay shows that it got wide over the top of the end.
It's locked the wheel. It's run a little bit wide. Yeah, it's Ash Walsh. It's pretty gentle, actually. There won't be a lot of damage. That's not as bad as the Dean Canto one from yesterday. No, that's all something, isn't it?
I think he's whacked the wall. It's actually made contact, so that's the reason for the bunny hops. So that's a fairly solid contact with that outside wall down there. You might see it in the background here on the replays. Gone in too hard into turn one, and qualifying claims its first victim. Pretty heavy contact in the right front corner. Isn't currently threatening Dumbrell. There's a lock-up in the background there, and a big one.
Bang.
Fiore's, he got the wall, he did. And that's probably put a bruise on that car. I'd be surprised if he gets away. Especially Stephen Richards there to make that work. Oh, trouble. Wheels up, the wheels come off the key car in that team car number one that's been closing in on the championship. What on earth has happened there?
Keep coming, mate. Keep bringing it.
Now, is there contact here? No, it's all of a sudden. I heard Paul say on the radio I had a long pedal at the chase. And thankfully that wheel's parted company and gone up here into the gravel standing of what's happened here. Oh dear, it's contact within the team. So that's Chaz Mostert. Oh dear, so that's the reason why it ended up in the wall. So Mostert's made contact.
Off, and it was McPhillamy Park. Wow, that's close to going into the fence. Does he make it? Yes, he does. On board with Anton now. Oh, so that's why it actually hit the Reed Park fence, which is the first thing we thought. And then the second thing is it dribbles its way through the sand trap at McPhillamy Park, and then hits the tyre fence.
Let's have a look in replay. So he's got big air, run wide, hit the concrete wall, and ripped the right corner. In fact, it's got both corners. So left front and right rear corner. Straight ahead afterwards. So distracted on the radio is what we just heard him talking about, and then he's driven it straight in. Oh, that won't...
It's been a great battle all year. Here's Heimgartner, who just locks the wheel and can't get the car turned. Car 7. There you go.
There we go. Left front wheel has already parted company, so that is an awkward situation, impossible to control for Will Davison. So already a major drama unfolding long before this has happened, and now he's a passenger, nowhere to go. And that is substantial, heavy front damage for the Milwaukee Racing Ford Falcon. So that's all of the obvious things. The front. No, there's
that's going to be an issue.
Was that another balking?
That's an issue. Oh, that's an issue. That's definitely. Oh, and a big crash for Will Brown. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Everybody, they've got the yellows out. Here we go. It's going to hit. There you go.
As soon as we're able. So here is what happened. So let's understand.
Oh,
shocking impact with the inside wall for Will Brown, and then he's made heavy contact with the outside wall. These are the risks. Now, Steve Owen, unfortunately, in Richie Stanaway's car, makes the wrong decision. He decides to go for a gap, and it was only...
He had to cover. Alex Prema moved it over and had to cover. He's got a little overlap. Can he get down there? This is going to be contact. He gives him a hit. He goes into the fence.
No way.
This is big time in the...
James Moffat. A couple of angles of that for you. So it crushed 55 up against the wall. So car number one's there. Oh, and we've got the usual disaster at turn 12. Nose to tail impact, a heap of cars here.
Track will be blocked. 12. He's turned in here, he's gone back a gear, straight ahead. So that patch is like ice. And then bang, bang, bang. There were 5 cars when you counted them.
So here it is
initially. Bang, bang.
He wasn't able to change direction at all, so it's fully crossed up at this point. He's just a passenger.
And you've got to be critical of James when you do that 3 times in a row, and it's just, that's a fast accident. That would have felt like that was going to be a giant crash. That sand trap has done an immense job, absolutely fantastic job to. Ooh, that's hit hard.
That's a setback.
2. So the first of the runners, that's ugly there. That's almost in the fence. If you keep it up, he stays off the fence. No, but Nick Percat didn't. So
Closed up, by the way. Mostert's just done a time that's taken him to within 1/10. Very easy to just slip wide down there at 3 and 4. There is no grip.
ooh,
So it's just gently nudged that organisation. And it's a TBC as to where he lands next. Here's the replay of what happened to Jamie at 4.
same.
Exactly like his teammate, a little bit heavier into the wall.
Flag here, I think, and it is a red flag. Disappointing
Red flag, closed.
as Simona understeers off. It's pretty gentle, but it's just caught.
And that it is continuing to get wetter and wetter. And off the road goes Percat. Now that's a heavy hit. It's bounced, but it went in.
Another lap. He just reported that it was when he got the wiper on, it just gone off the road. So there's no use in talking to him about going to start another lap. He's down in 14th. That's a heavy. Your comment.
Pause there. It's actually getting it mechanically to do the job he wants it to do there.
And I think the reason is they probably achieved it without being a mad propeller head. They probably achieved their overall car stiffness more with the sway bar. So there's more and
Big trouble for Coulthard at the final corner. Now remembering last year he was upside down. This will trigger a safety car. Huge damage for Fabian Coulthard. They can on the inside. Oh, it was actually Stanaway into the back of Holdsworth, who then got Fabian Coulthard. He'll be having horrors about that corner because last year he got tripped over and rolled just about 50 more. Madness goes on down the order when you're 2 and 3 wide here. And so Lowndes did get rotated.
Was that Garth? I think it was Garth, wasn't it? Damage on the front of Fabian Coulthard's car too, Neil. Front of the car's all stove in. Here we go. That was Garth with Simona and James Golf.
So Di Pasquale is just in front. Now this is sideways through 5 and then sideways over the inside curb. And when we look back, that car is entrenched.
Oh, big trouble here.
Coulthard
I can see
crashed.
bits of the Timken car. So Coulthard has come undone big time in the Shell V-Power car. This is going to be a safety car for sure. What does this do?
So McLaughlin is currently 2nd on track. Van Gisbergen is back there. That hit really hard.
Did you
didn't it?
believe that? That's a can opening sound. Pulled the whole side out of the car, Murph.
Has not got his fuel in. So they're in exactly the same boat for 97 and 1. So he's about to come to the lane to get his remainder of 140 in the front of it.
Oh,
I imagine that.
But it had already gone, wouldn't you?
Well, he
feel
probably
it.
wasn't aware.
Whoa. Okay, there's the damage.
Side to turn 12. Fabian's got the inside running. This is going to be hard yards, and there's a little bump and grind. And that's Whincup in the fence. So Whincup is in the fence. This might trigger a safety car.
So he'll put plenty of pressure on Fabian in the next couple of laps. He won't be so nice. Here we go. He's going to fly down here. These two had history here yesterday, and they've got more today. He's rotated him, backed him into the fence, and the rear wheel tip.
Now, here's a replay of what happened just a moment ago down at turn 1, and that is Chaz Mostert doing exactly what Fabian helped slow him. It didn't work, and then he's barreled it into the tyres down here. At this stage, the wing's okay. It's the secondary part of it when he grabs the gear, and just the way the wing end plates protrude on the car, he's dragged it along. He had to go back to first gear and feed it out the other side.
Oh, Stanaway in the fence. Was he around the outside at that point?